let us learn about HTTP request status codes. So HTTP status codes indicate whether a specified HTTP request has been successfully completed. Responses are grouped into 5 classes. Let me actually zoom way more in here, right? So there we go. This is crystal clear now. So you can see that they're grouped into 5 classes. So informational responses, so 100 to 199. Successful responses, 200 to 299. Redirects, 300, 399. Client errors, 400 to 499, and then server errors, 500 and then 599. So let me go back to Postman, and in here, remember, when we sent a request to a customer that doesn't exist, we get a status code 500, internal server error. So here, so server errors. Now remember, the validation, so the bean validation that we have is that we must have all fields, so name, password, and email. So if I was to change this to a post and then send the request, and basically this should be to customers, so remove /3 and send, you can see that basically this is giving us a 400, right? So 400 bad request, and in here you can see that 400, so this is client error, so a client has submitted wrong data, so 400 to 499. So if I was to include, so here if I was to say name, and then let's add Jamila, for example, and then send, you can see that we have 200. So 200 success responses right here. And then we have informational responses, redirects, and basically if I zoom out right here, so in this page, and by the way, you can grab this link from the description of this video. Right here, you can go and read through more about these response codes, right? So 200 means okay, 201 created, 202 accepted, so 204 no content, and then we have redirection. So basically when you visit a link and then it's permanently been moved, then this is what you should be using. And then client responses, so 401 unauthorized, so you've seen probably this quite a lot. 403 forbidden, so this is when you don't have the right credentials or the right roles and permissions to access a specified resource. And then 404 you've seen as well, 404, so this is not found, right? And then we have basically quite a lot of these ones, and you can see 500, this is internal server error, bad gateway, service unavailable, so maybe DDoS, denial of service, and basically you can see that these are the status code, right? So what I would advise you to do is to go and read through these and just have a sense of how they work. But effectively they are grouped into 5 classes: informational, successful, redirects, client errors, and server errors. So in here you saw that we actually see the status codes, and for example, if I send the wrong email again, so I just send all these fields which are required, but the email is wrong, so I'm going to send the request, and now we actually have a bad request right here, right? And what I want to show you here, so actually you can see that now we are getting the errors, whereas before we weren't, right? So for the bean validations, you can see that basically, so in here, so must be a well-formed email address. So that's the default message right here. So now, since we've enabled that property, we're actually getting more information. But I'm going to show you better ways of handling this in a second. So one problem that we have here is, so remember, when we sent a GET request, so GET request to customers / and then let's say 3 or 4, it doesn't really matter, 34, right? Because we know that this customer does not exist. If I send, this is a 500, right? So this is an internal server error right here. So server error, but we know that the client has sent an ID that it shouldn't have sent. So the ID does not exist. So this is kind of incorrect. So next, let me go ahead and show you how to properly handle exceptions with Spring Boot. But I just wanted to show you the status codes because they are super important, and a lot of people usually don't know what they mean. But literally, you need to understand these status codes in order to build APIs. And you will thank me later for learning all of this. So this is all for this video. I'll catch you on the next one.